Number 8. The man who won the lottery twice. In 1998, Australian truck driver Bill Morgan had a day that should have ended his story permanently. He was in a severe car accident, went into anaphylactic shock, and was declared clinically dead for 14 minutes. Doctors revived him, barely, and warned he might never fully recover. But Bill didn't just recover. He also decided to celebrate his new life by buying a scratch-off lottery ticket. He won a brand new car. The local news loved the story. Man survives death and wins a car! So they invited him to reenact the moment on camera. They handed him another scratch-off card just for the footage. Bill scratched it. He won $250,000 on camera, live, while filming a recreation. If you're wondering what the odds of that are, scientists say the chance is basically impossible, which is the scientific equivalent of throwing your hands up and walking away. Bill Morgan didn't just get lucky. Luck moved into his house and paid rent. Number 7. Survived a 3-kilometer fall into the Amazon. December 24th, 1971. 17-year-old Julianne Kopka is flying over the Peruvian rainforest when lightning strikes the plane. The aircraft breaks apart mid-air. No survivors are expected. Except, Julianne is still strapped to her seat, spiraling downward from 10,000 feet. She lands on a soft cluster of vines and trees, incredibly breaking only her collarbone. But the fall is just the start. She wakes up alone, injured, barefoot, and surrounded by the Amazon rainforest. For 10 days, she walks through the jungle, wading through rivers to avoid insects, surviving on rainwater and pure determination. Finally, she reaches a small hut, collapses, and is rescued. Scientists later said the odds of surviving that fall were close to zero. Yet Julianne didn't just survive nature, she out-negotiated it. Number 6. Escaped death 7 times. If luck had a spokesperson, it would probably be Frain Salak, a Croatian music teacher whose life reads like a mashup of Final Destination and a lottery commercial. In 1962, a train he was riding derailed into an icy river. Dozens died. Frain swam to shore. A year later, he was thrown out of a crashing airplane without a parachute and landed in a haystack. Then came a bus accident into a river. Then 2 separate car explosions. Then a cliff plunge where he was thrown from his vehicle and grabbed onto a tree while the car exploded below him. He survived every single incident. After all that, he bought a lottery ticket. And yes, he won. If luck is a spectrum, most of us are at finding a parking spot. Frain Salak was operating on manual override of probability. Number 5. Survived 60 hours underwater. May 2013 off the Nigerian coast. A tugboat capsizes suddenly in the early morning. It sinks to the ocean floor 30 meters down. Rescuers assume all 12 crew members are dead, but one man, the ship's cook, Harrison Okene, is alive. He found a tiny air pocket inside the overturned vessel, just big enough to stand in. Pitch black darkness, freezing water, no food, no fresh air coming in. For 60 hours, he survives by listening to passing fish and praying someone will find him. His body temperature drops, his breathing becomes shallow, and the air pocket's oxygen slowly decreases. Meanwhile, rescue divers are recovering bodies. When one diver enters the wreck, a hand suddenly reaches out from the darkness and grabs him. He screams. It's Harrison, alive, freezing, but conscious. A 1 in a billion survival. If he had been in any other room of the ship, even 1 meter away, he would have drowned. Number 4. Hit by a meteorite and lived. Most people fear lightning, sharks, or plane crashes. Anne Hodges was hit by something the universe itself threw at her. In 1954, she was taking a nap in her home in Alabama when a softball-sized meteorite burst through her ceiling, bounced off a radio, and slammed into her hip. She survived with a massive bruise. Scientists note that the chance of being struck directly by a meteorite is so small that they couldn't even calculate it meaningfully. It's assumed to be 1 in several trillion. Anne Hodges didn't win money or survive a disaster. She survived outer space personally attacking her. Number 3. The wallet the ocean gave back. In 2020, surfer Shane Jones lost his wallet while paddling off the New Jersey coast. The Atlantic Ocean is not known for returning property, but months later, in a completely different state, a snorkeler found his wallet on the ocean floor. Not only was it intact, but his cash, cards, ID, and photos were all still readable. The snorkeler tracked him down and mailed it back. The ocean didn't just give it back, it preserved it it better than half the washing machines in the world. A small story, sure, but statistically pretty wild. Millions of objects enter the ocean daily. Almost none return. Yet Shane's wallet took a multi-state vacation and came home with souvenirs. Number 2. The man who survived the 127 hours trap. You may know Aaron Ralston from the film 127 Hours, but the real story is even more absurdly lucky, hidden beneath the brutality. In 2003, while exploring a canyon in Utah, a boulder slipped, pinning Aaron's arm against the canyon wall. He had little water, no signal, and nobody knew where he was. He spent 5 days rationing sips of stale water and documenting goodbye messages. Then, in a moment of total desperation, he realized he had one option left: break his own arm and cut it off with a dull multi-tool. He did. Somehow stayed conscious, somehow climbed out of the canyon, somehow hiked until a family found him and called for help. Doctors later said that if the boulder had fallen just a few centimeters differently, it would have crushed his skull instantly. His survival wasn't just courage, it was a freak alignment of physics. Number 1. Survived ejection at nearly Mach speed. Our number 1 spot belongs to a man who survived something that should be physically impossible. In 1991, U.S. Air Force pilot David G. Stewart was flying an F-15 at nearly Mach 1 during a training mission. A catastrophic failure caused the jet to break apart mid-air. Stewart was violently ejected from the aircraft, not by design, but by the explosion. Normally, being launched into open air at almost the speed of sound means instant death. The air pressure alone should shatter bones and tear limbs. Yet David's parachute partially deployed just enough to slow him down, and he hit the ground alive. His injuries? Severe, but treatable. He returned to flying months later. Engineers studying the accident concluded no human should have survived this. But he did. Call it luck, fate, or the universe glitching, David G. Stewart walked away from a disaster that should have erased him instantly. Alright, that's enough for now. If you like this and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon. Real soon.